Welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross, broadcasting live from the Gorilla Cross studio in downtown Las Vegas. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have another dope show for you today. A lot of sports to talk about, and we're going to talk about it today. But first, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Kels, in the building.
Yes, sir. What's up, Quan?
How you feeling? You feeling good about some series that you picked or not?
Man, I was honestly thinking about that the other day. We had some good picks, but my biggest upset was I can't have my finals that I wanted. So, yeah, Lakers is up at it.
Already out.
Boo.
So we're going to talk about that. Lakers are out. So we're going to talk about that today, what they need to do, and everything else in the NBA. We're going to talk about some NFL draft and play a prank call that Shedeur Sanders got and talk to you guys about that and how did he fall so far. All that and more right here on Unnamed Sports Show. We're here live every Thursday, 4 p.m. or whenever Kels gets here.
That's crazy. 404.
I mean, we were here. Two of us were here, but one of them wasn't. So, I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but it was a little weird.
I feel like I've been 5 minutes late to everything I've ever been at with you since you've known me for 20 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. 5 minutes late. Like, that's my max. I get 404, 405. I walk in the door.
It was like 404 today, so.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
You are forgiven. You are forgiven.
I appreciate it.
All right, now I'm going to introduce, he's asked to be on for 4.5 years. And I'm getting him on today. I got my man, hip-hop artist, we've known each other for a long time, like just through social media. I feel like I knew you like since or MySpace. It's been a while, man.
I was a teen,
yeah. But we got Dula-Mite in the building. What's good?
I'm here, man. What's happening?
You're here, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
Yeah.
Been working hard, jet lag, but I've been working hard, man. I'm happy.
Where'd you come from? I know you've been in and out of town. So where's the last place you were at?
ATL.
Okay.
ATL did a album promo tour in ATL, touched in Austin, Nashville. So yeah, you know what they say, man. It's you get more support outside the city than you do in your home city.
Mm-hmm.
It's just with me, I know where to go. Some people don't know where to go. They be like, oh yeah, let's go to LA, and don't have no fans in LA. So right. For me, I just happen to be blessed to know where I touched. So I touched those 3 cities.
How long you been making music for?
Music wise, since I was a kid, probably around like 9 years old.
Yeah.
But like
you started out yodeling, right? And then it moved into hip hop.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Nah, it was with talent shows. I was doing like dance talent shows with my brother. My brother wanted to be a choreographer, so at 9 years old, I was in talent shows, and then I switched from doing that to trying to do movies and all of that stuff, like videography and all of that stuff. But music was just always there. So I went into songwriting, and then songwriting turned into being music. I didn't really get inspired to really go solo until I actually tried to do the group thing. I was in a group called the Empire Squad. That didn't work out. Those still my partners. It just didn't work out. I was like, I'm not a group guy.
It's hard being in a group.
Yeah, it's hard because you have
3 or 4 different opinions and
you got
ideas.
A room full of David Ruffins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna be like, well, I ain't really with that, and I wasn't.
Yeah. Some people don't recognize when they Tito. They think they Mike. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. Music saved my life. Put it like that.
Yeah,
entertainment period saved my life. So.
And how many albums and mixtapes combined do you have?
Mixtapes, I got like full mixtapes, just me, 6. Now, as far as like featured on mixtapes, like in the mixtape era, I'm featured on like over 1,500 mixtapes worldwide. And then as far as albums, this one that I just did is my 8th. It's my 8th studio album. So, and then this one is the second one that I did on even.biz because I don't put my albums on streaming sites anymore.
How long have you been taking your albums off streaming sites?
Since the last one. So it's actually been a full year.
Okay.
And doing that has been better for me than streaming sites.
And more artists have been doing that. We've talked about it on Speak Live Radio on a hip hop show. More artists have been doing that. And I think you can key into your target audience. You don't have to worry. The random people catching you off streams is cool, but if it's not making you any money, what does it really matter? Back in the day, like we used to be able to print up 100 CDs, do a show with 50 people, sell at least 20 of those CDs, right?
Yeah.
Like at least 20 people are buying them, and we're making money.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. Streaming, you're not making anything. So I think it's really smart to do something like that. I don't know, my boy Jared Sanders did that. I'm not sure if it was even .biz. It was something like that. But there's a lot more of those sites popping up.
But some people are scared too.
Yeah.
They comfort zone.
Well, I don't think it's scary, bro. We live in the let me show you my numbers era. And so they don't care if they're making money. Look at my numbers that Spotify is giving me, which are a lot of times fake because they know everyone's going to promote those numbers.
That's what I mean by comfortable, though. It's the clout.
Yeah.
They want to be popular. They're comfortable with trying to be popular.
Yeah.
They're not realizing that, you do want to still eat off of this.
Yeah.
It's just a small number of people that still want to have an actual career where they eat. A lot of people that sign, they starting to learn that popularity don't mean nothing when they see you 5 years later when you fall off, because some people fall off quick. And then next thing you know, you working at fucking, I ain't supposed to be cussing.
It's all good.
I'm still,
a little bit.
I'm working on it. Then they working at a regular store, or they're just doing like, small clubs and all of that stuff. They feel embarrassed because you didn't look at your contracts. You didn't think about the merchandise. You're basically giving the label everything.
Yeah. Right.
You're doing all the hard work and you look like TLC.
And that's why I still think it's crazy when people hype up being on a label like, oh man, this label wants to sign me. It's like, bro, it's 2025. Like, why would you want to sign to a label? I don't think there's any label that could really do anything for any artist that you can't do yourself now.
The signing bonuses aren't even that good anymore. Like you used to throw a number at somebody and they'd be like, okay, cool, not knowing that they was going to get most of that back. But now they're not even throwing numbers at you like that anymore.
They're not even doing bidding wars no more.
Yep.
Like if it ain't a bidding war, there's no point in signing to a label.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't have nothing. But even then, 360 deals.
Yep.
Kind of depends on how you do, and then they can shelf you too.
Yeah.
And when you at your creative height, a label can be like, nah, you can't put that out.
Right. You got to wait till
this. You can't
this.
do nothing about it. So the music industry is dying, and a lot of people are not realizing that they need to go independent and actually hit their target.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to hit the target because they've been trying to be popular.
And they might not have a target.
They might not have a target.
They don't know what the target is, and they never develop that. I tell people all the time, even with the fake Instagram followers and stuff like that, first of all, we've talked about this before. When you get fake followers and then you try to promote something, it's going to fake people. So it's not doing you any good, especially if you're paying for sponsored ads or something, which is good for if you have a product to do. Yeah. But it's just dumb. Like you don't even know who you're going after, Yeah. And it's better to have 500 organic followers that are actually wanting to be there than 50,000 that are just doing stuff for numbers. But that's the world we live in. People don't care about real. They are cool with look at my numbers, look how I appear, and not look how I actually am.
And that's why my album is called Being Real is the New Fake. Because the elephant in the room with the music industry is this. They don't love it. Like, I'm a real person, so I'll say a name. I don't think Cardi B loves hip hop.
Yeah.
I believe Cardi B is cool now. She put her album out.
Yep.
She got her endorsements. She's cool with that.
Yep.
I could put out a single anytime I want to. I'll put an album out when I'm ready. She doesn't care about the legacy part. Nicki cared about the legacy part. Nicki wanted to out-rap people and then get the rewards from it. Cardi B just wanted the rewards of being in the music industry.
Yeah.
So how she gets paid is not through the music. She getting paid through the endorsements. But that's how most of these rappers and singers are. They want the popularity. They don't have a love for the actual music. You could tell when you listen to Rhapsody that Rhapsody loves hip hop.
Yeah.
Period. Even Megan Thee Stallion, I could tell that Megan Thee Stallion, because Megan can actually really rap. You could tell that she loves hip hop. And then you could tell that somebody like Glorilla just got into it because it was something to do.
Yep.
If Glorilla fell off,
or somebody helped create, like, hey, we need to create an artist.
Yep.
You got the look, you got the voice, and you could do it. I mean, I think there's most artists don't love what they're doing, right?
Nope.
Like back in the day, so we talked about MySpace, right?
Yep.
Every artist that was on MySpace when it first started was a real artist because we loved doing the music.
Absolutely.
People started seeing that you can create an artist profile, so like, wait, I want to be a rapper too.
Yep.
And that's really what made everybody become a rapper, right? Yeah. It wasn't like that when we first started. Like if you rap, like you were able to pay for studio time and didn't just have a mic and a computer.
But bigger than that.
You could put stuff on MySpace and actually have real music.
Yeah.
And people saw that and got jealous. Like, I don't love hip hop like that, but I can get attention. And that's when the whole attention thing started.
They were trying to rap to get out of their circumstances.
Yeah.
Now when you look, it's rich kids. It's like no different than basketball. If you look at a lot of the kids that's even in the draft, there's a few kids that's in the NBA draft whose parents was in the NBA because they were able to get the trainers and all that stuff. They was able to get them in the AAU, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at the kids that's in the hood, they go to AAU tournaments playing 3-star people, and they're going to like, Siena, or they're going to Southern Utah. They're going where they should be at Duke. They should be at North Carolina because they got a chance to play a higher level. Yeah. It's the same thing with music. They're Jaden Smith. He don't suck, but he don't love hip hop, but he can put out something anytime he wants.
Oh, yeah.
He's with Rock Nation. You saw what Willow Smith did when she went on tour.
Yeah.
She said, I'm done with the tour. I don't want to be on tour no more. Whereas someone like me who's in the hood, I'm in the projects, this is my dream.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to get out of my circumstance, and I meet record execs or somebody, and they be like, how much money you got? Yeah. Well, aren't you the A&R? I thought we were supposed to build talent. And then you'll see people say, talent doesn't matter anymore. And that's crazy.
It's all a business. Everything's a business.
You look at the BET Awards. The BET Awards should have been called the Content Creator Awards.
Oh, yeah.
The whole show was just content creators.
Yeah.
BET Awards used to get people excited. The XXL list used to get people excited. Yeah. Nobody gets excited no more because they said talent isn't enough.
Yeah.
I mean, even the NBA All-Star game, it was like a lot of content creators.
Why is Jello
things like that?
Why is Jello
stupid.
performing?
Yeah. It was stupid.
Jello's also going to be on the next X-Men or double XL.
For what? Yeah. He can't even rap.
He said X-Men. I was about to lose it. Yeah, I was about to lose it.
And Jello trash too.
Yeah.
And his brother writes his stuff.
Yeah. So. Lil Wayne's verse on that remix was crazy though.
Nah, I thought Wayne verse was trash.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Wayne be saying a whole bunch of stuff that don't make sense.
Wayne has always said a whole lot of stuff, but he always said it in a way that Wayne could only say it, and that's
but the song could be about politics and Wayne to throw sex in there out of nowhere. Have sex with yeah. What is y'all?
Don't act like he ain't trying to make it about politics as well. He just say something crazy like Monica Lewinsky, sex and politics. You know what I mean? Like he'll do it. Like, don't disrespect Wayne. Man. That's crazy.
Well, let's get into sports.
Yes,
a lot of NBA playoffs to talk about. We always do this when we have new guests on or new co-host on. Your favorite teams in all 4 major sports.
Oh no.
Or 5, I mean, including WNBA.
Oh no.
And equal pay.
Did we just call the WNBA a major sport? Is that what you said?
I mean.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
If you don't like women, it's not.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. They like Division 2 to me. Las Vegas Aces.
Facts.
Period. But I do, unlike some women, I actually know the teams. Oh. If you ask a regular woman on the street, like name 3 WNBA teams, they can only name one. And
no, we're gonna do that for the show on the streets.
You should do that
because a lot of those women are outraged.
Oh yeah,
they really get on my nerves.
They don't even when you go to the games. There's a lot more men there usually.
Oh yeah,
men support WNBA. Yeah. I hate when they say we don't. Yeah. But Las Vegas Aces, the Lakers. I hate to say it, the Cowboys. Yeah, I know. Sorry, no. What I miss hockey, Golden Knights. But before the Golden Knights came in, it was the Penguins.
Oh, okay.
And then once we got a team, I was like, we want the Golden Knights. And then baseball is the Yankees and Mariners.
Okay. Cool. Kels, do you like baseball?
I don't. I don't.
So you don't have a baseball team?
Yeah, I do not.
Yeah.
Catch a lot of Yankees games. Best friend's a Yankee fan, so catch a lot of Yankees games with him. Obviously, love the Yankees-Dodgers rivalry, but not a big baseball fan. I love catching a game at a park, but can't watch it on TV. Just puts me to sleep.
The games are better live. Yeah, for real. Like it's fun, especially the playoffs.
Playoffs is fire.
I watch playoffs, and I watched the beginning of this year with the Dodgers because, you're so hyped up off them coming off a World Series win.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like their first 10 games, especially like their home games, felt like it was just like a continuation of the playoffs. Everybody was still so hyped.
Yeah.
It felt like a
So
concert.
it was like fun to watch.
Yeah, it was like a concert.
Sure,
They had so many people coming to each game. Too.
Yeah. But when you have so many games, man, it's hard. It's hard to like.
It's hard to keep up.
Games
with
are long.
Like
There's a lot of them.
165 games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
162, and even with basketball, like 82 is a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saysaying? Like I love basketball, so I watch from preseason on. But
a lot of people don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't because I don't love the game like I used to.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the game because they were supposed to win the championship this year. They traded for Luka midseason. And I don't think the expectations for this year was to win the championship. I think there was hope.
Right.
I don't think there was expectations because everybody knew when that Luka trade happened. We all saw the holes in the roster, right? Yeah. And even when they made the trade, they got rescinded. They got rejected by the Lakers when they traded for Mark Williams, who everyone needs to quit acting like he was a superstar center.
Yeah.
He's good, and I think he would have definitely helped and maybe even helped us win the series. Who knows? But
I think they would have won the series if we had him.
But he's had injury history, so it's a lot. But with that being said, I knew there was holes, and we didn't know. The expectations were not necessarily for this year because we knew we traded one of the best defensive players in the league, a big man, in Anthony Davis to get Luka, and this was going to be not this year, but now next year, the expectations are right there where it's like you have to do something this summer, and the expectations are going to be super high. What went wrong in this series? Because everyone was saying Lakers in 5, Lakers in 6. Minnesota went to they went far last year, Western Conference Finals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They went far, so I think they were being overlooked. They traded Cat, and maybe people were looking at that like they're not going to be as good. I thought they were better getting Julius Randle. He fits better
trade.
with somebody like Ant and Rudy Gobert. So I think that actually helped him.
Yeah.
And we saw it in this series. Like he showed up, which he's kind of disappeared in playoff series in the past, but he showed up. Lakers didn't have the physicality to match with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And really, my most disappointing thing is they came out yesterday like it was a regular season game to start. They had no playoff intensity. I don't know if that starts with coaching. J.J. Redick was already frustrated pregame with some questions from the media and let that get into his head. I think he was just way overmatched in this in his first playoff series. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to be great in this league. He had a really good season. But I think going into the playoffs with that step up, we hear with players like the playoff intensity's higher.
Yeah.
I think J.J. Redick was not ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it showed in game 4 when he didn't make any subs. No coach has ever done that in the second half of a game.
I think he did that for a reason. I think JJ got frustrated with the bench. I mean, Jackson Hayes, he give you a couple alley-oops, but that's pretty much it. Alex Lynn ain't going to give you much. What is it, Koloko?
Well, she never even played him. Koloko and Jameson didn't even make the playoff team.
They didn't make the roster.
Which doesn't make sense to me because we could talk about the whole Bronny thing. You could have had one more center. I like Jameson a lot.
Yeah.
You could have had one more center. You just need big bodies, and that's what frustrated me. You weren't even using those big bodies. They don't have to play great.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be good, but it's going to be better than – I saw Gabe Vincent guarding Randall and Rudy Gobert way too many times last night. That shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they need to make some trades.
Definitely.
Jackson Hayes is good coming off the bench, giving you about 10, 15 minutes. But they do need a couple decent. You need decent big men. Because if you box out Rudy Gobert, they win the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you playing like LeBron for like the past 5 years hasn't been playing great defense either. Like he'll turn it on and then turn it off.
I feel like he played good defense this year.
He falls asleep on
his defense this year was a lot better than it's been even the last 3 years.
He gets backdoored a lot though.
He does.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Even with Braun getting backdoored, I don't know why I repeated it. It just,
I said it for you.
I don't know why I repeated it. It was crazy. But I feel like it shows a lot because their zone doesn't move enough. You know what I mean? And they always leave that corner shooter there. They always do. And it's funny because I think that was the biggest problem against Minnesota just as last game is that Ant went off game 4. Ant went crazy game 4. And now they're like, we got to run him off the 3-point line. So they're overplaying the outside and getting murdered on the inside.
And Ant didn't have a good game yesterday at all.
But that's what
Rudy Gobert was wilt, like you said, 30 and 20.
Yeah, I think that was JJ's adjustment, right? He's like, when we go in there, we just don't give him nothing on the outside, not thinking about how to adjust the inside play. And I think that's the biggest issue. You're a coach. You need to be able to coach and make adjustments in the moment. And halftime, they should have been like, man, Rudy Gobert, the worst player on the court, has 16 points already. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? But he didn't, like, he could, I don't know why he didn't even let Jackson Hayes just go in there and foul out. You know what I mean? Like, a couple hard fouls. He was so expendable. You played all your starters for so long. Just put him out there, let him get into foul trouble, let him try to play defense, try to prove himself because we're getting killed on the inside. And he did not make that adjustment. And I think that's a huge problem.
And I'm going to go to some of these comments real quick. Chris Wynn said, completely disagree. JJ is way over his head. He needs a few years of seasoning and experience as an assistant in the league. Got thrown in the fire, got exposed. He got exposed in the playoffs. To say he wasn't playing great or coaching great in the regular season, Lakers were the 3rd seed. You don't get that by being a bad coach. Like I watch coaches.
Yeah.
I watched Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham sat there. JJ did things. JJ coached. JJ loves the X's and O's. You could tell.
And made adjustments.
I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he can be great. He was very good this year, and I think he should be in top 5 for coach of the year.
I agree.
I think he was way beyond expectations for his first season.
Yeah.
Especially with there was a lot of trades. You know, you started with D'Angelo Russell and AD, those were starters. You had a totally different lineup of starters.
God, they traded Russell.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
And I love D'Lo, but I mean, talking about no defense.
He is trash. No, he not trash. Let me stop.
Austin Reeves looking the same right now. So,
and I think we got a caller. Kendrick, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? What are your thoughts?
JJ, man?
What's up?
Well, y'all getting on JJ. JJ's not the problem. He did what the hand he was dealt. I'm proud of him for going bold. It was conventional, and you forget if they call the foul on Luka and they give LeBron the swipe down. We're not talking about this. It's 2-2, and that strategy works.
But here's the thing: Lakers were up big. Hold on, Lakers were up big in the 4th quarter in Game 4. They were tired by the end of the game. I said that with 8 minutes left in the game. I'm like, if you're not making any subs by the end of the game, because it happened in Game 3, they were tired at the end of Game 3, and that's why they lost. So not making any subs at all, not making any subs at all in a half to even get LeBron out for 2 minutes, get Luka out, get them to sit down for a second, be able to breathe. You have to be able to trust your bench. What does that say to the rest of the team if you're saying, I don't trust anybody, and no one's coming in the game? That's not good coaching.
That's a more message to Rob. That's a message for Rob. He got to fix that.
Rob's not coaching on the floor.
Off the bench.
Rob's not coaching on the floor.
The roster. We got an incomplete roster, though, from the
But
trade.
listen, we were cool with the bench during the regular season. Don't act like you weren't at least cool with it. Hey, man, they're playing. They're doing their thing.
Yep.
Good point.
And Jackson Hayes played really well. So you're not giving him confidence when he's playing 8 minutes a game, 4 minutes in each half. How are you going to be good when you're not getting any play at all? You're a body. You need a big body. Let him get 6 fouls. Let him get 6 fouls.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't play Jackson Hayes. So even like last night, you see Rudy Gobert looking like Shaq Gobert, and you don't even bring him on the court. I didn't understand that one at all.
Everybody says Shaq Gobert.
That's our point. That's what we're talking about. That's literally our point.
Maxi Kleber hadn't played in 9 months.
Yep.
They put him in instead of Jackson Hayes.
Yep.
When you need a big man.
Yep. Austin Reeves is 2 for 8 by the half, and you don't give Dalton Connect any trash minutes to come in there and hit some big threes.
Connect nothing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So those are the adjustments we're talking about.
I understand not put connection. He made too many defensive mistakes, and people act like the Lakers bench was killing the series. They were minus like 38 or something. Don't get me with the analytics, but they were a big minus. So it's like nobody was doing anything.
Is Dalton Connect's defense that much worse than Austin Reeves and Luka?
Luka's the biggest defensive liability on the court.
Because you could put him in, it's not going to be any worse than that, right?
Right.
So you could take Luka out for a little bit, and Dalton can hit it. I mean, every time he shoots, I'm like, that's in.
Yeah.
Like, he could hit the three.
Yeah, they shoot. Yeah.
But not to mention, sometimes energy. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, dog. But yeah, sometimes it's energy, right? He's not the best defensive player, but you give some fresh legs out there, and coach tells him, like, I need you to go out there. I need you to run him off the three-point line. I need you to literally not give anybody anything outside so that we can let somebody else work inside. And he goes out there and he expends all that extra energy he has. That is a factor in the game that changes things down the stretch. So it doesn't matter if he's a great defensive player or not, because at the end of the day, they needed breaks, and you didn't utilize who you had to give anybody any breaks.
One thing they messed up, they never had a defined six man all year. Like sometimes it became Vincent, it was connected at the beginning of the year. Sometimes they try to go with doing Finney Smith. They need a guy like this your role. When you come in at this point, that's one thing he did not do. That I was like, we're gonna have a defined role, because I can see how Dalton Connect go. He ain't have a role beginning, got hot, played a little bit.
Yeah.
They want to trade him. Oh, you coming back to LA? And so he didn't say nothing, but you can tell that messed with him mentally.
And I think Finney Smith should have been
for a week after the trade.
Finney Smith shouldn't have started the last
game. Get back to LA.
Yeah, I think Finney Smith should have been the sixth man, and that should have been a defined role for him instead of, you know what, now let's put him in the starting lineup.
Right.
Just because he's the best player out of all the other players you have doesn't mean he has to be in the starting lineup. Manu Ginobili, Lamar Odom, I mean, we can go down the list of people that were six men that were probably the second or third best player on the team and didn't get in the game like that. So you're right. I definitely think they need to define roles. But now you got Luka and LeBron going into next year. You're going to have a lot of things you have to do. They're going to get a big man.
Yeah.
They're going to get a big man or two. There's going to be a lot of trades. I think Rui Hachimura is gone. I think Vanderbilt might be gone.
Yeah.
You have to trade to be able to get some people back.
I know you can't just sit there and boom. You can wave a magic wand with people that were in the playoffs. I think Miles Turner and Gary Trent playing the way he played in the playoffs would fit in perfectly with the Luka and LeBron combination.
Everything that Hachimura gives the Lakers, they can get from Dalton Connect with development. So if you trade him for, give up Rui Hachimura maybe a second-round pick, you can get you a decent big man that you can either start or come off the bench, because Dalton Connect can do everything that Rui Hachimura can do.
But with JJ not playing Dalton after the trade much, it might be something where it's like, look, man, you're getting traded.
Either that
or he might just be automatically getting traded, because people know how good he is and how good he can be, and everybody wants a shooter. I think Lakers should hold on to him, because I think he could be one of the best shooters ever the way he shoots.
Absolutely.
But I just don't think Lakers have patience to deal with someone young like that.
Yeah.
And like you said, he is a defensive liability. He's not great on defense, so we need defensive players. I think Finney Smith definitely stays, but I think everyone else is up for grabs.
Vanderbilt is definitely gone because he can't stay healthy. He can't shoot.
Because him and Luka are BFFs.
Yeah, him and Luka are friends. That's why a lot of the people are thinking like that trade was thought about way before, because they traded for Finney Smith randomly.
For next year.
But yeah, I mean, listen, man, a lot went wrong in this series. You can't be too mad. LeBron's getting older, though. It's not like he's getting younger. He doesn't have years to wait. So it is next year they have to do something to make them contenders, because we thought they were contenders, but they weren't.
Yeah.
They was going to lose probably in the first or second round, whether it was with Luka or AD anyway. So.
It gave them a shot. But what I think they need to do is they need to get a big and get another shooter / 3D guy, but they need to make sure that LeBron's not playing over 30 minutes. That's insanity. That's like malpractice. Like, if he gets one crazy injury, it's a career injury. Ain't no, well, he'll be back like Kyrie next year or Dame Lillard. No, that's it. That's game, set, match. They got to find that dude's playing. I know he hasn't got hurt, but he got more miles on his body than anybody in the game of basketball. That's just tempting fate. He should play over really 25 minutes a game next year if they trying to win it all. So he can have his legs at the end. But the 35, the way like 33 minutes a game. Come on now.
And let's go back to some of the comments. Into the West Comics said bench for Lakers scored 10 total points in game 4 and 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hardly played. Chris win again. So we're making excuses for a 3 seed losing to a 6 seed in the first round when the Lakers have 2 of the top 5 or 6 players in basketball. But Minnesota has one of the top 3 players in basketball. And they've been building this team for a long time. Yeah. They have been built to be where they're at right now. And 3 and 6 seed were separated by like 2 games, bro. So you got to chill on that. Like, it wasn't like it was a 10 game. They could have lost or won 1 game and been reversed as the 3 and the 6. So it's not like they weren't close. I mean, the West is super tight.
People forget the Lakers had to win one of the OKC games just to even get the number 3 seed.
Yeah.
That's why they was able to sit out that 1 game. Yep. So, yeah, I wasn't really surprised when Minnesota won. I didn't think it was going to be 5 games.
Right.
No, but also, too, it was a couple close games. It's kind of like the Warriors series. There's so many close games. Yeah. Or the Detroit series. Yeah, all the games are pretty close. So everybody's pretty much close except, for OKC. I mean,
all right, Kendrick, give us your last thoughts before we let you go. Kendrick.
Yes, sir.
Give us your last thoughts before we let you go.
What was that?
Give us your last thoughts on this series before we let you go.
All right.
I'm about to hang up on you.
What you said?
Your last thoughts.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, give us your last.
My last thought is the Lakers are closer to what people think. They got to find a way to figure out in the offseason. We'll see if Rob can wipe the way with a Luka trade, but Luka will win a title in LA when it's all said and done. I'm not going to say next year. But they definitely got to go big because if you look at last year, the Mavericks team was nowhere near as good as this Lakers team, and they killed Minnesota, but they had 2 bigs.
Yep.
Got to have a big. Got to get another shooter.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't need all stars. You need role players. You need good, solid role players.
Just like Dallas did last year.
Who's going to be the number 2 though? If LeBron's playing less minutes, who's going to be the number 2 though?
Everybody wants it to be Austin Reeves, but I've been saying since the beginning of the century that he's just not that guy. But everybody wants it to be Austin Reeves.
He's a 3. He's a good 3. I can't put him 2.
Yeah,
but he's a good 3. But yeah, I think you got to find somebody that can a small forward. It can't be just a good player. It can't be a guard. It's got to be a forward that can get you 18 to 20.
Yeah. I feel you. All right, Kendrick, man, we'll have to get you on. We'll have to video call you next time and actually, get you to co-host with us. And Golden Knights score first. 1-0. Golden Knights are up on Minnesota on a power play goal in the first period. Let's go.
Golden Knights go.
And if you hear my voice, folks, that's from me screaming like a girl on Tuesday night at the Golden Knights game.
Yeah, you got
very
that
excited. That was a very exciting game in overtime. It was crazy, so I was screaming because I was up high, so I had to let them hear me.
Right.
So I had to scream a little louder.
The players, you need to let the players hear you.
Yeah.
It's all good, dog.
And I'm gonna go right to that just because the game's on right now. Have you been to any games?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
You like it?
Yeah, one of my first.
Because a lot of people say black people don't go, and every time I'm there, I'm like, I see black people. So,
for sure.
But I have some black friends, Andre Bailey, that are scared to go to the games because they think it's just like a clan meeting.
They're absolutely out of their mind. First of all, I don't think any of the Knights fans see colors. They might be the most racist people in the world, but during a Knights game, they don't see nothing but black and gold. That's all they see. So, but yeah,
black and white. In the crowd.
Yeah.
Mostly white.
Yeah. But my first game it was crazy. I was in San Jose. I went to a Knights versus Sharks game, which was crazy because I was one of the only 10 Knights fans in there. And that rivalry was crazy a couple years ago.
Yeah, when Sharks were good.
Man. Yeah, when the Sharks mattered.
Before they hit the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Now they're missing a fin like Nemo. But yeah, for sure. It was incredible, man. Such a great environment at a Knights game. Love the team. Love what they represent for the city, man. I started watching hockey about 2 years before the Knights inaugurational season. I was watching the Kings just because they was the closest, but you know what I mean. And then the Knights came, and I was like, "Here we go."
They won some championships,
absolutely,
in LA. Yeah, that was my squad forever. Wayne Gretzky got traded there. That's when I started paying attention to hockey a little bit. So you've been to games?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of Golden Knights games, but I've been watching hockey since I was 5.
Okay.
So from Gretzky to Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux was actually my favorite player.
Yeah.
And what was the other cat? Jaromir Jagr.
Oh, yeah.
When they was together on Pittsburgh, that was my squad.
Yeah.
And then once we got home team, because people got to realize, with Vegas, we support the Golden Knights because that's homegrown.
Yeah,
man.
You know, the Raiders, you're going to always still have people that's fan of other teams. If we would have got an expansion team, I don't think none of us would be fans of the teams that we were and would have been home team.
100%.
That's hard for NFL because I would have still been a 49ers fan, but I would have supported the home team a lot more.
Yeah.
It would have been both.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
been both. I know. I'm sorry, bro. We keep beating you in the playoffs anytime you couldn't actually make it.
Yeah, he said he's a Cowboys
But,
fan. I didn't tell him I was an Eagles fan either, so you already know how that
you know
goes.
what? I have
He's
no,
been an Eagles fan for 3.5 months.
I have no
Stop it,
leverage
Quan.
either.
He's like,
None
who's
whatsoever.
winning?
No
I want the green team.
Quan, you got archives. You can go back in the videos and see me on this very show at least 3 years ago talking about Eagles. So
Who was it before the Eagles?
it's always been the Eagles. I've been an Eagles fan since I was like 7 years old. I grew up in Vegas, so
You know the Eagles are going to be at the Sphere.
What? Oh, you mean the band? Oh, okay, you got me. But no, you said it earlier, right? I grew up in Vegas. You know, I was born in San Diego, but I grew up in Vegas. My dad's from Chicago. My mom's from, she grew up in California too, but she's a Niners fan. My dad's a Bears fan. So it was one of those things where I could pick a team. You know what I mean? I picked Eagles because I don't know, maybe it was the logo, the birds way back then, and I've been rocking with them ever since. And then as soon as they win a championship, people were like, or as soon as they win the Super Bowl, I was like, where you come from?
Yeah.
Where you been an Eagles fan? I've been an Eagles fan my whole life. So, but I've actually
You need to see
never.
proof next show.
Yeah, that's fine. I got pictures from 2014 in the Eagles hat. Don't play with me.
Okay.
But I'm a number one Ohio State Buckeyes fan.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I'm Michigan, so
I don't even say their name.
I know you don't.
I say it wrong. I'd be like Michigan, or I call them the team up north.
Missed again.
But same thing like you're talking about Raiders being expansion. That's why we've been so adamant about NBA team needs to be an expansion team. Don't be trying to bring the Clippers when they
Or
were
the
talking about that,
Kings.
or the
Yeah.
Kings, which they got new arenas now, so they're good.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies, like we don't want a team like that. You could trick the WNBA coming out here and making everyone think that's a new team, even though they had been two other places before in Utah and Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, Utah and San Antonio. But you can't do that with the NBA. We know.
We know.
So it has to be an expansion team, and I think we'll see that probably 2028 announced next year or two, and then 2028, 2029.
Yeah, Braun's gonna be the owner.
You see
I think
Vegas
Seattle
and
gonna get a team.
Seattle
Yep,
at the
Seattle.
same time. It's going to be the same time.
Think we're getting a Supersonics back? You think they're gonna do something?
Oh, they're
else?
going to Seattle for sure.
They're gonna definitely do Seattle.
Because they already got to keep all their
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's true.
You know, so
They're just gonna have to take those jerseys down with the Thunder and then put all of that back over there in Seattle. Because
Yeah.
well, maybe.
but they've already said they get all their records. They get everything that Seattle
Okay.
had
Nice.
when they go back. Golden Knights. It's Game 6 tonight. Minnesota Wild's trying to tie it up to force a Game 7 out here Saturday. Game 7s are amazing, but I don't want to see that.
Nope.
I want to be able to end this. Hockey's too close of a game. You can't trust a Game 7.
You know, he's been playing great.
Do you think they win tonight?
Thomas Hurdle's been playing great.
Thomas Hurdle's great.
Yeah.
He's been playing amazing, especially since what's the leading scorer name? I can't even
Eichel.
pronounce it because I know he's out.
You talking about
tonight.
Jack Eichel? Or are you talking about
Starts with a P. Because you know hockey names are crazy. Nah, but Thomas Hurdle's been playing great. And then the other guy whose last name started with P, he been playing great too. I think he was the leading scorer last year. I know he's been playing great this season. I mean during the postseason. So yeah, they've been rocking it out. I was actually scared when we was down 2-1. I can't lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we won the last 2 games in overtime. I mean,
Right.
that's wild.
Close games.
It looked like the Pistons series.
Yeah. I feel like that's the most important thing though, right? All the games been close. We got to worry about like how this one plays out. I love that we off to, a good start, first goal. Like good seeing that gives me a little bit more hope. I hope they can close it out, but
And that's the thing,
all
a
these
lot of the
been
games,
close.
the ones we lost, they were like we just weren't coming out of the gate the way we should be.
Yep.
And so to see this, I like to get a 2-goal lead. 2-goal leads always feel good. So hopefully we get another goal in this period.
Yeah.
And I forgot to get my free fries and tacos yesterday.
Should have got that.
From where?
Well, Golden Knights games, if they score 2 in a period, you get free tacos from Taco Bell, not real
From
tacos.
Taco Bell. Okay, that's
Fun
fun.
fact,
And then
though,
McDonald's fries if they score in the first period, I believe.
Fun fact though, with Minnesota, when they're down 3-2, the last 5 series they've lost. So they've never come back from 3-2.
And a 3-2 lead. Whoever wins Game 5 to get a 3-2 lead wins 80% of the time of the series in NHL.
Yeah, those statistics are crazy, but they're for a reason. So
Yeah,
I believe it.
But you have to believe in yourself, so you have to keep moving. But
absolutely,
yeah, man, let's get this. So it's fun, man. If you guys haven't been to a Knights game, make sure you check it out. You probably have to wait till next season because moving into the second round of the playoffs, tickets are getting a little more expensive. So yeah.
Especially in Donald Trump's United States, it's going to be expensive. It's going to cost a lot. Donald Trump.
All right, moving back into the NBA, we got the Pistons and Knicks on right now. I'm not sure. I don't have the score. What is it?
It's going
7. It's going 7. Sunday, it was a foul. They didn't call the foul. Yes. The NBA comes out and said, "Oh, it should have been a foul." If you could review that an hour later, why can't you review it right then and there? I think there's too much technology to not have more reviews, especially end of the game. That was an obvious call that they missed.
Yeah.
If the cameras see it, like that drone camera that they saw LeBron from nowhere, like where'd that camera come from?
We've never seen that camera angle before.
Elon Musk satellite camera.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can review all that, we need to be able to review more plays in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Because these things change games and could change a whole series. It would have been 2-2 going into Tuesday's game when Detroit won. Now it's 3-2 New York.
Yeah.
They're trying to tie it tonight. It's on now. I don't see the score yet, but they're in Detroit. So Detroit has to look. You have to forget about that, and you have to just keep playing.
Great
and I think it does go 7. I think Detroit wins tonight. They're a very good young team. Now they're down by 13. 13-point lead in the NBA is nothing anymore.
Yeah, that's not
you
the first quarter.
Hit threes and stuff like that. But does New York not want to go back and just end it here? Like, are they going to be the veteran club they are and try to end it right now? Because you don't want to give a young team a game 7 because they have nothing to lose.
If they do end it, Jalen Brunson going for like 38, 40.
Yeah.
He got to have one of those nights. The problem is, though, let's say that they do win tonight. The problem with the Tom Thibodeau team is that he only has a 7-man rotation that he plays. So by the time that they get into
2 more than JJ's 5.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know?
But you're playing Boston next. And Boston, basically, their bench could be starters on other teams. So when you're playing, like, let's be real, Boston is a super team.
And after Thibodeau killed Derrick Rose, he has not learned. I just don't understand how he hasn't learned from that experience and from every other experience of them his teams being tired in the round 2 every single year.
Because people forget when Derrick Rose went into that game, they were up 20-something points with like a couple minutes left. Why is Derrick Rose going back in?
Yeah.
It was stupid. Yeah. So I think that they're going to run out of gas, just like they did last year. And also, too, mark my words, it would not surprise me if Indiana beat Cleveland.
Oh, wow. That would surprise me.
It would surprise me just because of how Cleveland and Miami wasn't any good, but the way they dismantled another NBA team, just the whole series, it would surprise me. But they do match up well. It's not. It wouldn't be like end of the world shocker.
They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and
Halliburton got his confidence right now.
And Halliburton, if he don't get hurt, they would have gave the Celtics a run for their money. I think that was an easy run for the Celtics because of all the injuries that hit everybody in the East.
Yeah.
So I think, me personally, it wouldn't surprise me if Indiana beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
But if the Knicks go to 7, they are going to get massacred in the second round.
Yeah. I got, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We said that, like, Detroit doesn't know that they're a young team. They play like.
And I picked Detroit in 6 to start, before the playoffs started.
Coaching.
Yeah, and I said that I hope Detroit takes it. I want to see that for Kay Cunningham. But I also said, realistically, it looks like New York has a better team. Looks like they're going to take the series. But I think with that same mentality, they're going to go into this game knowing that they got nothing to lose. They're going to play like they always do, put their heart into it. I think they're going to force a 7. It's really going to come down to the consistency and aggression that the Knicks have shown. Because outside of Cat being soft, everybody else is playing really hard.
Cat is super soft.
Cat is the softest player
but
in the league.
That game 4 in Detroit, when he hit some crazy big shots. That's what we've expected from Cat for his whole career, though. That's the talent he has.
Yeah.
That's the skill he has.
Yeah.
But that zestiness, you don't see many zesty players being great basketball players. You don't.
My thing is, imagine he just went inside, banged down low a little bit, got a couple.
Bangs down low a lot.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, he probably bangs down low way more than he should. But gets into the paint. I was just telling somebody the other day, you can't watch basketball and just listen to it because the commentary is crazy. But he gets a couple inside buckets and then expands the floor with that shot. He'd just be such a great player all the time, and he just refuses. He hates contact. It's crazy.
Just inconsistent.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are, who you have in this series, and obviously in tonight's game.
I mean, as a fan, I hope it goes 7.
Yeah.
That's just as a fan.
Also, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. I know I meant to do that at the top of the show, but thanks for tuning in. Please share the live video stream. If you're watching a replay, share that as well. We are here live. I'm Quan59, your host. We are here with Dula-Mite and my man Kels. It's good having you on, man. Some people get on, don't know anything about sports, and they act like they do. But we're usually pretty good at picking people that know about
people think that I don't know about sports, and I'm like, dude, I played basketball myself. Like, I know about sports. It's okay. Now, I ain't saying I was Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like, my career was JC. Once JC came, I was done.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy. After that. After that, like in high school and all of that stuff, basketball, I love sports.
Yeah.
I was talked about last night. Shout out Dre Bailey and the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Group, because I put up a post in the group saying LeBron's Laker playoff career has been tragic.
Oh,
yeah,
he won the bubble chip, which a lot of people don't give credit for the bubble. I do.
I do too.
And I would have with any team because there was a lot. Somebody had to win, right? Everybody was trying to win. Somebody had to win, so it's still it counts. But then nothing else really. Western Conference Finals against which they overachieved that year. They weren't supposed to do that, and they did, and could have won. They didn't. There were a lot of close games and a 4-game sweep.
That was 2 series that really they could have won.
Yeah,
because Denver won out of those 8 games. Denver won about 6 close ones, and it was about 3 or 4 game winners.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like the coach.
Yeah, the matchup was good.
The matchup was good. It's just, but you're right. It ain't been.
But ousted in the first round the last 2 years, missed the playoffs a couple times. I mean, but I was told you can tell you never played hoop.
Oh, that's such a crazy.
And I don't know why with that. Like, I can understand other things you might say that. I didn't understand that.
That's actually funny.
But here's the thing I did, and he said, where? And I'm like, I didn't play for high school. My grades weren't good enough. I didn't care about doing homework to even play. Would I have made the team? I don't know. I love playing. I played all the time. I played every single day.
Yeah.
I carried the ball with me, so I've studied the game for a very long time.
Yeah.
But he did play high school, so I just want to shout him out. He did play. So he's it was 32 years ago. So carry that trophy 32 years later. And
I will.
That's my boy. Shout out Dre Bailey.
So I'll say, one, I agree with the statement. LeBron's Laker playoff career has been tragic. I don't think it's LeBron's fault.
It's not LeBron's fault.
You know what I mean? But it just sucks how.
But he's still the leader of that
bounces.
team. So I mean.
Man,
you try to cater to him too much.
Funny. I feel like we talk about how LeBron's been trying to pass the mantle, but we still put the responsibility on him to carry the team morale for everybody.
In this series, he disappeared in the fourth quarter almost every single game.
Yeah,
and maybe had 6 points the whole.
But again, that's what passing the mantle is, right? As fans will beat their chest about how great Austin Reeves is, and you give him shot opportunities, and he shoots terrible, and nobody wants to hold Austin Reeves accountable because he's the next up and coming player, but he's young. But all season long,
but do we think Austin's
great.
At the place of LeBron and Luka? I think he is great. I think Austin Reeves is really good. I think he's a great
all-star
but
potential.
he's not.
He has all-star.
He's not superstar potential. I think he could be a perennial all-star. I think
at the end of the day, I would not trust him to hit the big shot. I mean, we've seen him miss it multiple times. But again, LeBron still has Luka to drop the ball off to. You know what I mean? So he's trying to be that high IQ player, the veteran player on the court, step back, take a step out of taking on the scoring load, and literally pass the rock, make the right decisions, rally the team when it's talking about making the right play, and people are coming up short. But LeBron's being held accountable for that. And I hate that for his career.
Who's 40?
Who's 40? He's 40.
He's 40.
In year 23.
The fact that he's playing the way that he is, people forget he's 40.
Yeah, he's 40.
He's 40 balling like that. Like he's gonna get tired. Like this morning, I got out of bed and my knee popped.
You need to use the bench more.
And that's
regular stuff for when you're around that age. And knee pops and LeBron.
I have to twist my back for an hour and a half before.
Exactly.
I get out of
So
bed.
for him to do what he do, I had a good joke about your homeboy too.
Who's that?
Yeah, I was going
The
to
one you was just talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, tell him he was playing basketball when tearing your ACL was called blowing your knee out.
That's real.
You blew your knee out, it's over. No, it's not. Not no more.
End of your career.
No more. You got a year. Come right back.
Stem cells.
LeBron is 40, and the fact that the Lakers are like, oh, is he going to come back? That says a lot about Bron, how he takes care of his body and everything. Yeah. The problem is this. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
Winning one championship is hard. Getting to the finals is not easy.
Yeah.
Vince Carter played 22 years. Never played in the conference final. Or if he did, he played once.
Yeah.
It's not easy when it's a team sport.
It's not.
So, and when you put it up there, it's not guaranteed it's going to go in.
Yeah. Right.
LeBron has hit big shots throughout his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Reeves has to learn that. Luka had a bad back. It just wasn't a year.
Yeah.
I didn't expect finals because Luka was on the team, because I know that Luka with them last year with the Mavericks, he had 3 big men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyrie was healthy, but the big men were super important in the situation.
Yep.
The way that Luka plays with the pick and roll, he needs a big man.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes looked really good with him when he had him.
Yeah.
When Jackson Hayes went to the bench, it was Dodo who was shooting threes.
Yep.
You get Luka a couple of big men that can dunk, it's going to look like James Harden. James Harden needs the same
And I think
thing.
they know that, and I think that's what their goal is, and I think that's what they'll do.
Turn it into the Los
Defensively.
Angeles
And that's the thing,
Mavericks.
you're not just getting one big guy this summer. You're getting two.
You have to.
You're getting 2 big guys this summer.
But I think not having a big man has exposed Luka as a defensive player, right?
Absolutely.
Like on the Mavericks, you could blow right past him, but you're running into a wall down there. You know what I mean? So everybody was like, okay, cool. Luka's not that much of a liability. But then you take a team that doesn't have a big, and you're like, man, they're targeting him. They're going past him. And then it's a drop-off pass and a layup almost every possession.
And how he got exposed against the Celtics is that their big men can actually shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Mavericks big man couldn't shoot.
Yep.
So you need to get a big man that can shoot, and you need to get a big man that is going to do the pick and roll.
Yep.
Either way, you turn him into the Los Angeles Mavericks, you got something different, because they do need to build the team around Luka. Whether LeBron plays a year or 2 or not, LeBron is number 2 now.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 because he's older.
Yeah.
And even if you're building around LeBron, you still have to build the team the same way.
Because LeBron,
Either way, is going to be the same thing.
LeBron won when he had shooters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get him some shooters.
Yeah.
He made Kyle Korver look like he was all NBA when he was playing for them.
Kyle Korver's an amazing jump shot.
All right, let's talk about going back to the East. Giannis and the Bucks lost. They were up by 7 or 8 with 40 seconds left in overtime.
That broke my heart for them.
And that's one of the biggest, especially because it's a playoff game. We've seen stuff like this. We saw Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in however many seconds in a regular season game, which is still like one of the craziest games I've watched live in my life.
Yeah.
But this is the playoffs. You get into overtime. You have one of the best players in the league, and they give up 8 points in the last 40 seconds of the game in overtime, which should not happen. Anytime, if you're up 8 in overtime at all, even with 4 minutes left, that's usually a guaranteed win.
Absolutely.
It's very hard to get a lead in overtime and lose it. They end up losing the lead. They already lost Dame the game before. He's out maybe for a very long time. I'm not sure if he comes back from this with his age. He won't be the same. He's not going to be the same.
He'll be back after the All-Star break.
I don't think so.
I think.
Not at his age.
At 34?
He's old, bro. That's an old 34.
34 in basketball years is like dog years.
Especially with Dame, because he's just not. And does it have anything to do with the blood clots and the blood thinners he was taking, and then came back too soon? Like,
that's true.
Is that something he should have just sat out the rest of the year? Because you don't know that stuff affects your whole body.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you got blood clot, your blood's not flowing right through your body, so all your muscle, everything's working different.
Yeah.
So that might have been a mistake letting him come back that soon, but at the same time, you're not thinking, hey, like he wants to come back. Yeah. But losing him, and then at the end of the game, they lose the series. Halliburton's dad. These NBA dads are wild right now. These are like soccer moms. Between him and Trigger Fingers, these dads are crazy. So Halliburton's dad, if you didn't see it, actually I think we got it?
Please show it, because he was wilding.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we're gonna play that right now. We do have it. We do have it. So they lose. You know, Giannis like, and this is after he had already gotten his face. He got in his face again. Like, what do you like? And Halliburton's not there to defend his dad. But what do you guys think about this? He comes out right when the game's over. Like, it's barely even all the way over. Comes out, puts a flag of Halliburton in Giannis's face, and now tried to say, "Oh, I was just holding it up. I didn't realize Giannis was there." Giannis is 6'10", 260, bro.
He knew what he was doing.
You didn't know Giannis wasn't there, was standing there, and then Giannis got back in his face. I mean, that these people, you got to be treated like a regular fan. If a regular fan did that, they're banned for at least a year, right?
Yeah.
And they've announced that he's not going to be at the games in the playoffs, but it wasn't a ban by the NBA. It was just something the Pacers suggested. Just because you're a dad of a player doesn't mean you're a player, man. And it's getting that out of hand. And it's like, dude, be supportive of your kids. That's amazing that you're doing that. But, dude, that's some clown action, bro.
Yeah.
And he's lucky he didn't get. He could have easily got hit and hurt. He's old, bro.
Well, one accountability. Like, if you've seen the different shots of him going in front of Giannis, hold yourself accountable. You was acting like a clown. No one came to the circus.
Yep.
We actually saw what you did. Number two, I commend Giannis in that moment. Because in that moment, when he was doing that, there was nobody around his dad. Giannis could have easily clocked him, especially after what just happened. You just lost a close game like that. The basket was made on you.
Yep.
He puts that flag in your face at that moment. He could have clocked him. And Giannis is class. He is a classy guy.
Yeah.
And then number three, I like that Tyrese Halliburton held his dad accountable.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, my pops is dead wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with the Dame
And thank God he said that, because if he would have been defensive over that,
right.
it would have been a bad look on
There's
him.
nothing to defend.
It would have been a bad look.
And the fact that the dad saw that and then he apologized. But you're only apologizing because everybody held you accountable when you didn't hold yourself accountable at first. And I get it. Emotions, you want to show out for your kid, all that stuff. But this ain't AAU, it's an NBA.
Yeah.
You can't do that to a professional. I don't even like when parents do that at high school games,
Yeah,
so let alone an NBA game.
I have a video of my dad defending me.
It's going to be in black and white?
What was the church league?
Oh. Dang, Quad.
That was actually clever. I thought you was going to show a church league game or something. I was like, oh, yeah.
No, I did play in the church league. Maybe I should have responded. I was playing for Jesus.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Who'd you play for?
Right.
Play for a coach? I play for Jesus, bro. What do you want? Who I play for?
Oh,
JC.
crazy.
Junior college? No, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, bro.
Oh, man, I 100% agree with both of y'all. I think that there is no accountability for the parents at all, but again, Quan said it best. They're just like any other spectator at that event. I think we've lost the decorum and how to treat players. And Giannis could have been that player that walked off the court, didn't shake nobody's hand, left angry, went and moped about it. But he's giving them their props, showing love, and getting disrespected. And that bothers me, man. That happened to me in an adult league. I was ready to fight.
And bro, when you're like, the player is going to be mad. Like you play the whole season for this, and now you're out, right? You work out 7 days a week.
Yep.
You practice 7 days a week. This is your life. All summer you're thinking like, okay, what do we have to do next year to get back to the championship?
Yep.
And he even said in the press conference, like, look, man, I got a championship. They don't. They need to quit talking as much as they do.
Facts.
Which is true.
I don't like how Benedict Mathurin acted at the end of the game either.
Yeah, it felt like he said something to Giannis on the way. Like, I don't know.
He
It
said
just
something slick.
Yeah, it just felt like it. Just looking at the video, it felt like he said something and that really set Giannis off the second time. And I want to know what he said.
Which I love it because we need people to hate each other more in the NBA.
But that was a trickling effect from the Pops.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if the Pops don't do that,
yeah,
then Benedict Mathurin's not coming over there doing that.
Right.
He's celebrating with his teammates.
Right.
It's like, come on, dog. You a good player, but you ain't on Giannis
You're
level.
not Michael
Like,
Jordan.
Yeah.
like, stop it, dog.
Yeah.
Stop it. So Benedict Mathurin, he wasn't classy in that moment either. So
Yeah.
shout out Tyrese Halliburton for keeping it classy.
So going on to the rest of the East, we have Boston It's pretty much over, right? Is this the only game left?
I think Boston closed
Boston's a wrap.
No, I mean this game on right now.
Oh, yeah.
There's only game left
for the first round,
in the
Is
first
it?
round
Golden
for the
State?
East.
Oh,
For the East.
yeah, for the East. I think Golden State played today, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He
Okay.
played last night. So yeah, the Knicks or Pistons are going to play the Celtics, which I don't think that either team stands a chance. I think it'll be a much better series than Orlando, but I don't think much different. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see the Knicks be able to, or Pistons be able to, take the Celtics to 6 or 7 tough games.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland and Indiana. So, we'll do our pick. Well, we need to do our picks now because they're probably playing on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So who do you have in this series, Cleveland and Indiana? I'm going to take Cleveland, but you're right. I think it's going to be a much tougher series. I'm taking Cleveland in 6, but I think these are going to be all close games.
I got Cleveland too. That was my original pick, and I'm just trying to stand 10 toes on what I said. Cleveland looked really good. I didn't think the Pacers were going to look this good. We did take Pacers if Dame was not healthy, and I think that that's the right pick. But Pacers looked better against the Bucks than I thought they would have, and still got the win. So I think it's going to be a close series, but I still got Cleveland. They just look phenomenal, man. And then honestly, confidence has to be high after beating somebody by 60 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like they have to have great confidence going there, knowing best record in the league, right?
After OKC.
After OKC, you're right. Yeah. So best record on the East at least. So just a lot of things going for them that are going to keep the momentum going. And I think that you don't lose focus on that. For right now, this really looks like a championship season for them. They're in their mind, they're a championship team. And I think that you play like a championship team when you feel like that because of the accolades, because of being able to get through, sweep your first round of the playoffs, have the best record on the East. Be playing the way that you are. So I hope they keep that momentum up.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Don't kill me off of what I said earlier.
You changing your mind?
Not changing my mind, but you just have like a.
You think about it a little more.
You think about it a little more. Like it wouldn't surprise me.
Like when you go out with a girl, you're like, maybe I don't really want to spend the money on you. Then you get up and like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, and you never come back.
They ain't got no filters in real life.
It's not a catfish, but you're not as cute.
It wouldn't surprise me if Indiana won in 7, but in my heart, I think that Cleveland is going to win in 5. And I think they're actually going to do it in dominating fashion. I think the one game that Indiana win will probably be game 4 because they have to win.
Yeah.
And it'll be one of those, we blow them out at home and then we go back to Cleveland.
That was one of the biggest flips ever.
Yeah.
He went from Indiana winning the series to no, they're going to lose every game.
Because they have the talent to make it 7.
Yeah.
But I just think that Cleveland is on a mission to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I think it's better if it's Cleveland versus Boston over Boston versus Indiana.
And Minnesota Wild just tied the game with 4 seconds left in the first period.
Oh, joy.
Crap.
Jerks.
Yeah.
So wild.
They couldn't hold off a couple seconds. Jeez.
You know it's bad when you call them jerks.
Those guys.
Those jerks.
And then in the West, we still have a lot going on in the West.
Yeah.
OKC, they've been done for a month with their series. We have Clippers in Denver tonight. Game 6. It was a blowout the other night. I was expecting every game to be like the whole series has been. But you kind of always get one blowout in the series. I think Clippers tie it. I definitely think it's a 7-game series. I wanted Clippers to win the series until Lakers lost because I don't want Clipper fans at all. They talk junk. I had a Clipper fan talking junk to me today.
Yeah.
Shout out Super the Chemist. They have not even went to a conference championship ever. So you got to quit. Like, you don't even have we went to the conference championship banner.
Yeah.
Like, not even we went to the championship
participation trophy for conference championship.
Yeah, but he was talking bad joke about the Lakers. Like, dude, you cannot say any. I don't care if Lakers never make the playoffs the next 30 years. You'll never even be able to be in the conversation. So
just imagine if they do. I know Paul George going to be pissed.
Oh,
and here's the thing, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Clippers win the championship, but their fans, I can't do it because they're fans.
They're not, and they're not going to the final. No Western.
But are they winning
Conference
this series? I'm gonna take them to win this series.
I got
Clippers.
them.
Yeah.
I got them winning the series, but I think that OKC beats them in 6.
I'm standing 10 toes. Denver. We said if it goes 7 games, Denver's championship DNA, veteran mentality was going to get them through that series, and I'm standing on that. It's funny. I watched back our episode a couple weeks ago, and I feel like a lot of that stuff's coming to play. They're trying to contain Joker, but everybody else is showing up. Jamal Murray showing up just like we said he would. I got Denver holding out. If it goes 6 it's already 6, but if it goes 7, I still got Denver taking it. I think you're right. Clippers might tie it up. Kawhi's hungry. He's playing, but I think that championship DNA, that championship
and Jamal Murray wasn't showing up all series, and then last game he was
7 beat Denver, right?
He was wild.
Yeah.
I got Denver winning the series. Thinking about it,
Yep.
Game 4 was pretty good for Jamal Murray too, but but Game 5 was insane.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm like, there he is.
He looked like Jamal Murray.
Why
again.
the Clippers ain't gonna win in 7? Because they have James Harden. And James Harden is one of the biggest choke artists of all time.
But they also have Kawhi Leonard playing like Kawhi Leonard, and he's not a choke artist, and so that can be.
You would have to cover James Harden's ass, boss, because James Harden, like the last game, gave 11 points. And I believe in Game 6, James Harden can have a big game, but Game 7, he's not going to show up. He never does. Unless Norman Powell gives them 30 or something like that, or Chris Dunn was to just have like a 18, 20-point game. But Kawhi Leonard in the Game 7 will have to have 35, 40 because James Harden is not going to show up. So I think Denver's going to win, and I see Denver actually losing to OKC in 7.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not mad
and then Houston and Golden State. Can Houston come back and win that series? It's going back to Golden State. It was a blowout last night. Steph has a hurt thumb, and they're like going after it. They're talking about Dylan Brooks. So what happened is they let him get hit a couple times last night, and now in the media, they're putting their words out there to kind of like get the refs' attention for Game 6, right? Yeah. So I think we're going to see a lot of foul calls on Steph, but it's been a different series than I expected. I thought this is going to be like a really close series, but there's been some blowouts. But it's been good. I mean, seeing Jimmy Butler come back from that injury that looked like it could have taken him out. Yeah. For the series, he came back after just missing one game.
I think Game 6, Jimmy's gonna have about 35. I think due to the fact that Dylan Brooks be poking the bear too much, right?
The wrong Bears, bro.
The wrong Bears. So due to the fact that he said, we're trying to get Steph injured. That don't do nothing, but like people think Steph is just this nice guy. No, that's gonna motivate Steph. He's a killer. So I think Jimmy Butler and Steph are gonna have a big Game 6. I think that series is over in Golden State. I don't see it go 7.
Yeah, I agree. I'm standing the same original predictions. Defense was carrying the Rockets. It looked like this last game. It looked like they were like, no, we're gonna ease up. We're gonna take some players out. Steph and them played very little minutes. Almost the whole starting lineup. Even Draymond played less minutes than normal.
Draymond. Everybody loves Draymond.
Everybody loves Draymond. I mean, if you look at how it's spelled, that's how it's said.
But they kind of talked about that going into the third period because they were down big. Like, if we can't get this lead down to under 10 within the first 5 minutes of the period, we're just pulling everybody. I think that was smart.
I got a joke for you. It's a good one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Where?
Where who?
Where is Jalen Green? That's why the Rockets going to lose.
That was my biggest take. He's the most inconsistent player on the Rockets. As great as they are, he's inconsistent.
And then he gave 11 points.
Yeah,
I feel like he's overrated anyways, man. I like him. He has talent, but I think he's not who he should have been by now, you know?
Yeah, he's an Austin Reeves. He's your third best player.
Yeah.
Because Şengün is
Şengün's definitely their best player.
Best player by far.
Monster.
And then second best is probably Van Vliet.
No, it's got to be Amen Thompson.
He's inconsistent too, though. I mean, they all are.
Fred,
the Thompson twins are dope.
Fred is probably the best player in the series right now because he got 2 back-to-back crazy games. But all season long, I'd say Amen and Şengün have been the 2. Yeah, but
Amen Thompson and his brother though, they coming.
No, they're good, man. They're good.
They are next.
They're good.
They got strong faces too.
You see, I mean, I know what to say.
So strong. Strong face. They like they get punched. They'll be like,
num.
All right. Speaking of strong faces, had nothing to do with the strong face, but there was a prank call that we're gonna play.
Nice.
Let me turn this down. Shedeur Sanders got pranked. First of all, he fell out of the first round. Everyone's like, okay, he'll go second or third round for sure.
Crazy.
And kept falling. Some quarterbacks were picked that weren't even close to being as good as him. And then he got a prank call from the Saints. His number was leaked. So these are numbers. Usually players have a number like this is only my number for the draft calls.
Right.
Like this isn't my number. It couldn't get out anywhere else. But the only people that have it are the teams. All 32 teams have these specific numbers for the players that they can call. It's not their regular phone number. They have another phone for that. So we will play Shedeur Sanders' side of the call first. And then we're going to play the caller's call.
Hello? You got that call? You know what's going on? Ready to go! Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you. Ready to go!
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
Nah, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go! What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
So he gets pranked, saying he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Let me play the actual pranker's call, which we later find out it's the son of one of the coaches for the Falcons.
This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
So first of all, they're recording the whole thing. So they knew it was going to be posted, right? They knew they were going to post it somewhere. They thought they were hilarious doing that. And the problem is we do live in a prank world. Like there's prank videos everywhere. People are overdoing it. Yeah. More of these prankers, I think, need to get shot, to be honest.
They did it to
some of these people do some crazy stuff.
They did it to 8 players, right?
Yeah, I heard they did it to some Giants players too and stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously, the Shedeur Sanders thing was the big. I mean, he was the biggest name in the draft.
Yeah.
But it happens. He comes out with an apology. The kid comes out with an apology that probably wasn't written by him at all, because you didn't make a mistake knowing you're recording this and knowing you're going through these numbers and doing that. And how did he get the number? He said it was an iPad that was left open from his dad. So they need to do something better to not let that happen anymore. The dad could have lost his job. He's
the words out of my mouth.
He's beloved in the NFL. He's been, a coach for the Falcons and the Jets, and now he's back with the Falcons. So he's a beloved coach, luckily, because if it was somebody that they were already looking for a reason to get rid of, he would have lost his job.
Yeah.
And he was fined $100,000. The Falcons were fined $250,000. What's this kid going to do? And people are calling him a kid. He's 21. He's about the same age as Shedeur, right?
Right.
And he plays football.
Oh, he probably sucks. Who you play for, though? But what do you think about this, man? I mean, it to me, it wasn't funny. I understand, like, everyone is in prank mode all the time. Everyone's trying to go viral. Yeah. Like we talked about earlier with music, everyone just cares about the clicks. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
This dude needs to get jumped. But what do you think, Kales?
Yeah, that part. It's funny because I saw the memes about it before I actually heard what happened. And then when I heard what happened, I was like, yo, that's kind of corny. Like, it's kind of weird. But now,
especially thinking like for those 10 seconds, like, okay, my team's the Saints. Like that's in your head, right?
And again, that's a moment he's been waiting for his whole life.
Yeah.
Everything he's ever done has been for that moment. Like, where am I going? What's next for me? So
Repeat that
I just
one
think
more
that-
time so they can actually truly understand what you just said.
He's been waiting for that moment his entire life. His entire life, everything he's done, all his college, every little bit of pee-wee football he's played, it was to get to that moment, and it was ruined by somebody who thinks that they're funny. Yep. And now the real call isn't as effective, right? Not next time you do get that, you know what I mean? That next moment, it's like, is this real? You don't get to cherish that moment, like
especially when they call and it's like it's the Browns. You're like, I hope this is a prank,
right?
Right.
Right. Well, the Cowboys, right? You're like,
absolutely.
It's wild, though, man.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, we live in that era where not enough people get punched in the face for their actions. You know, because after that slap on the wrist and that apology, we're not gonna hear nothing else about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's how I feel about it. First off, we can go so many different ways about the prank call because I know Abdul Carter, they did it to him. I know they did it to who was the 4th pick in the draft? The kid from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Mason Graham. They did it to him. One, beyond corny, it's what you said. The point that you made was the point that I was going to say. When you work for something your whole life, it's like a kid that's not that smart and they're waiting for their name to be called at graduation. Yeah. That's their moment.
Yeah. That was me.
He took that moment.
I'm like, what?
Right.
I get one of those.
It was a moment. So, one, it took the moment away. Number 2, he's already sliding in the draft.
Yeah.
Right.
And so at that moment, he's already a little nervous because, he played it cool. They can say what they want about Shedeur. Shedeur played it cool the whole time on camera.
Yeah.
But in his head, we know what the conscience is saying to him. Because Shiloh was kind of saying what everybody was thinking. They doing that to you, what they going to do to me? Mm-hmm. So Shiloh knew immediately 3rd day, I'm not getting drafted. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I'll get a free agent call.
Yeah. And he fired his agent too, which was
that was actually a joke.
Was it?
Yeah, he was just playing around.
So he's pranking too? I'm mad at
he said
Shiloh
that to mess
pranking.
up with his pops, but he did end up getting an agent. I think Shedeur ended up getting another agent as well too because Dion recognized what was going on too. That's why he was like, crucify me, not my sons. It was a message being sent by the NFL. So if there's already a message being sent by the NFL,
message, by the way.
It was a dumb message, but they're sending a message and then this kid does that. And to go to the second point you made, your pops can't leave his tablet in his own home. Now he can't trust you.
Yeah.
If his pops would have got fired, can you imagine the strain in their relationship after that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors with the Shedeur Sanders thing. It's just like people like, they're talking about it so much. Donald Trump even was watching the NFL draft and said, how is he sliding?
Yeah.
So for you to do that and then he slides to the 5th round, Shedeur has every reason to feel any type of way that he wants to.
Yeah.
And you saw when the Browns picked him, they have the cameras on the war room. Mm-hmm. They weren't happy. So people are saying that was the owner's call.
Yeah, it was.
And the staff didn't want it. I think every NFL team staff were trying not to pick him. Mm-hmm. Trying to make this dude fall all the way out of the draft, being at least a top 5 quarterback in the draft. Even if you want to put him at the lowest, he's at least top 5, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to see him fall and fail and be able to laugh at Dion and laugh at the family. Like, that's weird to me. Yeah. There's no reason he should have slid past the 3rd. No. 3rd should have been the very lowest he should have went.
And he's not even 3rd round talent.
He's not, man. He's definitely 1st or 2nd round talent. Yeah. I think he's 1st round talent. I don't know, man. I like him, and I think it's his job now to prove everyone wrong.
That part.
Are they going to let him? Are they going to give him a chance? Browns have 5 quarterbacks.
Here's the crazy part. Shedeur did everything he did with the worst offensive line I've ever seen in my life.
The offensive line was tragic.
Yeah.
Horrible. Even the season where they won the 4 games, he still had amazing stats.
Yeah.
Didn't even have a running game. The running back his junior year was probably like, 5'6", $180.
Yeah.
And then the running back that came from Ohio State his senior year, he didn't really show out like he was supposed to.
Right.
Travis Hunter doesn't win that Heisman without Shedeur. How does that slide? How does Jackson Dart, who's a choke artist? Because I saw that game against Florida.
Yeah.
He's a choke artist.
Yeah.
He's not ready, especially for a big city like New York.
Yeah.
Shedeur has New York written all over him because he's been in the spotlight his whole life.
Right.
So
and New York traded up to get that.
Right.
Big. So I don't know. It was weird. I've never seen anything like that in any draft. We've seen people fall because of things, but they'll fall from being a lottery pick in the NBA to like a late first round.
But not no fifth round.
But fifth round, they were trying to make a statement, and the NFL is a statement maker all the time. Mm-hmm. They've been very harsh with statements they've made. I don't like it. I'm obviously still going to watch NFL. No matter what statement they make, I'm still watching. But I want to see him do great. I'm mad that he went to the quarterback graveyard.
I think he'll get traded
in Cleveland. Maybe. Or they might know that he's bad there and just throw him in there and make him be bad. Because it's hard for a quarterback to come back if you have some bad years.
Well, Joe Flacco's going to start.
Which is crazy. He's 95.
Yeah.
Then Kenny Pickett ain't it.
And then they drafted someone else, and then they have Deshaun Watson that's not supposed to.
He's going to be out for the season because of his ACL. But he has a huge contract, so even the next season, they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with him. I didn't understand the pick when they picked Dylan Gabriel and him. Somebody's going to get traded.
Yeah.
Or somebody's competing for that third spot, and then somebody's going to get released. Yeah. So I think Dylan and Shador are probably going to be competing for that third quarterback spot.
Yeah.
Shador has the chance to start, but like you said, it is a graveyard. Tim Couch was horrible there. Deshaun Watson don't suck.
Yeah.
They won't tell the truth. The offensive line hasn't been that great for him.
Right.
Who they going to throw it to? Jerry Jeudy?
It's just a bad franchise. There's some of those franchises that are just bad franchises, and they're one of them.
They're horrible.
And, Myles Garrett wanted to leave, and then they're like, well, here's some money. He's like, okay.
He turned into Carmelo Anthony real quick.
He did quick. Because he was gone. We're like, okay, where's he going to go? And then all of a sudden, it's like they put that bag in front of his face. He's like, all right. Because they're like, we're not paying anyone else.
Right.
Might as well pay you. But, yeah, man, that was sad. And, that's the NFL draft is huge. Everyone's watching. I think it's the biggest draft even over the NBA where everyone's tied to their TV. Everyone's having draft, like all the players are having draft parties and to get embarrassed. And this is day 2 of his second draft party because he already had one the day before that didn't go well. Yeah. And so this is day 2 to get pranked like that. Yeah, man, I hope someone knocks this dude out.
Yeah. Anybody. Somebody.
But I'll say this. It could end up being the best pick that owner made.
It could be. Yeah.
Because Shador turned around Jackson State, and players got drafted because of that.
Yep.
And he definitely turned around Colorado to where Colorado was looking like a rock concert, and he kept his poise and still threw 70% completion rating. So I'm just saying. Because Abdul Carter, to me, was the most overrated person in the whole top 3.
Yeah. Could be.
I think he's going to turn into, what's his name that was at Ohio State that got drafted at number 2. Because I don't see it. I see why LT was like, why would you want to wear 56? Wear a different number.
I can't believe he even asked him to wear that.
Yeah, I don't think, I saw him in college. He was good, but he didn't give me, whoo.
Yeah.
I think Abdul Carter's just going to be average.
How do you feel about the Cowboys picks?
I think they should have picked Matthew Golden or Luther Burden III. That's just my opinion. I think, but you do have to replace Tyron Smith. Yeah. But in the draft, second and third round has great offensive linemen. We do need another wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb, and if you couldn't get McMillan, then you got to get Luther Burden or you got to get Matthew Golden. It's just kind of weird that they think CeeDee Lamb that's just good enough, and then in the playoffs you double them, and then it's like, okay, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do now?
So I don't have any high hopes for Dallas. I'm actually not rooting for them. I'm just like, oh, okay. Who do you like? Nobody.
What you do?
Yeah, like they got to really spot because I don't think Dak is it either.
Yeah,
I think Dallas should have drafted Shador Sanders. Be honest.
Yeah, and they had talked about it, but Jerry Jones talked about had some big trades he was going to make that never happened.
Jerry Jones look like a zit.
I think he just talks now. I think he's just at that point. He just talks.
Like a big old pimple.
All right, before we close that, we're going to get into some sad news. Kevin Love's father, Stan Love, passed away. And, Cleveland and Miami are playing each other. Kevin Love plays for Miami now. So Tristan Thompson, they won a chip together. So this was a very touching moment at the game the other night. some things are just bigger than basketball, bigger than sports.
Absolutely.
And it's always good to see people. I mean, that just makes me emotional seeing like how like emotional Kevin Love is getting.
Yeah, for a while, Kevin Love was dealing with a lot too, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And now to actually see the end result of it, I mean, it's amazing to see that he's getting some support and that he's handling it. You know what I mean? That's dope because I know he was going through it.
I always tell people I don't have a great relationship with either one of my parents.
Yeah.
But I always tell my friends that when they have like I didn't have grandparents. I don't have a great relationship with my parents. And I always tell people that if one of those people die, when they cry about it, I envy it. Because most of the time, one is greed because we want to keep them around because we do love them. And those are tears of not just sadness, those are happiness because you have great memories about that person.
Right.
If he's crying that hard for his dad was amazing. And I envy that. So,
And they did have a rocky relationship. You know, it was said, but you know they
still
but
be
that
able to
doesn't
work
mean
it out.
anything,
Yeah, they
just being
probably worked
rocky.
it out and everything. And I always tell people, I'm like, when I see people cry over a parent, a grandparent, it just means that person did their job.
Yeah.
You have great memories of them. Cry right now because crying cleanses the soul. But after that, you got to be able to cherish their memories so they can rest in peace. Because if you allow yourself to be sad about it, that's the circle of life. We all gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a circle of life. So you do have to honor them while they're alive by living your life still and not allowing it affecting you because they're able to rest in peace if you do that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, a couple more videos we're gonna get into before we get out of here.
Damn, that was real. I actually felt myself in that moment.
Hey, you did good, man. You did
Hallelujah.
good.
Hallelujah.
Should be a pastor.
Hallelujah.
Should be a pastor's crazy.
Pastor Dula-Mite.
That's nuts.
Dula pastor. All right, we got some videos we're gonna play real quick, and you know we'll just react to them. Draymond told you
Nails, that's hilarious.
a lot of these young guys like painting their nails. It's a little different to me, but you can see them right here. Paint your nails.
I wonder what else came with that though. He didn't just say pinch your nails. Probably called him some words that begin with F or G.
Jokic is over here making substitutions because they fired their coach. That's wild to me.
That is wild.
And this is the definitive angle we're about to show you from the NBA.
That game that's crazy to lose like that.
Yeah.
And her wearing a suit and tie all the time is a little weird.
Well, she about 83 pounds wet, so.
He's airing it out. It's gonna be long. No!
He was very upset at that.
It's gonna be long. No!
How much money do you think he put on that game?
Oh, so much. That's crazy.
That's
I
wild.
felt that no from the.
We're not gonna watch it. This is hilarious.
A lot of that mindset.
He tried to block the camera like there's only one camera in the building.
I think the numbers tell the story of the dominance of the Thunder in quarter one.
I understand him though because he did get them figured out. He did. I think they still would have lost the series, but I think it would have been 4-2.
I think he needs to quit talking and just play basketball.
100%.
Yeah, I can't argue with
He's
that.
still coming back from an injury. He should be much better than he was. I mean, than he is right now. But yeah, he just got a hoop. He's that guy.
And in this, I don't know what's going on there, fellas. It's just a dog bone, but
that dog bone got ass.
It looks like a hanging nutsack. I didn't want to be that guy, but it looked like a hanging nutsack. I think that's what he was thinking. Like, why are their balls just hanging? Which is crazy.
Because that's how their season gonna be.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
ass and balls.
We're in the MMA. We're gonna have an MMA show next week to talk about UFC 317, I believe it is. But
UFC 3000 by now.
This is UFC versus KFC. She throws her down, and then this is the actual fight.
I think I saw this.
But then she drinks a Coke. What is it? Is that a Coke or a beer?
I think it's a Coke.
It's a tall can of something.
A Coke.
Was that for real?
Yeah. I mean, this is not UFC at all. It's just some MMA league.
Her face bounced off that fence.
She need to go see Dr. Now.
Oh man.
If you don't know who Dr. Now is, just look it up.
Wild work.
All right, Dula-Mite, let them know where they can find you. And thanks for getting on with us, man. You have
I'm
to
gonna say it like
get
Dr.
on more often.
Now. I got you. And so you can find me. He never smiles. All right. It's DULAMITE on everything. Don't put the dash, just like it says on the screen, on everything. Also, my new album, Being Real is the New Fake, Volume 2 is on even.biz. Just download the app. The way you sign up is just through your email or your phone number, nothing else. You can buy the album at minimum $1. $1 in the streaming world equals 1,500 streams.
Ooh.
So that tells you that a lot of rappers are saying that they get paid, and they're liars. So, even.biz, put in Dula-Mite. The albums will pop up. You can buy Volume 1 and Volume 2 for a total of $2 if you want to.
Hey.
Either way, you won't get my album on the streaming sites. It's only through even.biz because I don't make this music to not make nothing. So anything that you invest in me, I'm going to invest back into myself, into the businesses that I want to do.
Now, some artists will have their albums on, those sites and then put it on streaming sites later.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll ever do?
No. I know Mike Jenkins. I know that J. Cole is even doing it to where he might just put all of his stuff on his website.
I think if more big artists start doing that, it could change the game.
Kanye
I know
was
some
going
people
to
are
do
scared
it.
of that, but I think it would change the game.
Kanye was going to do it, and then Kanye, he lost the culture after what he was doing. So I don't think anybody.
I haven't seen anything that he's done. Black Klansman. Kels, where they can find you.
Black Klansman.
Tell them where they can find you, Gil.
Man, I'm at Cope Does Damage everywhere. So KOWP, that's Cope Does Damage. No spaces, underscores, or nothing. Hit me on Instagram. That's probably where I'm the most active at, man. And then you catch me either here on Unnamed Sports Show or maybe even on, Speak Life, Gorilla Cross. I'm always there too. So just trying to rock out with Quan. Make sure we getting y'all some real information with some real knowledge and not a bunch of biased stat reading.
Yeah. And shout out to our caller, Kendrick, for getting on with us for a second and not knowing how to get off the phone.
Yeah, he was a Laker fan for real.
Oh, yeah.
He was upset. He said,
Laker fan that lives in Dallas and covers the Mavericks, so it's pretty funny that. But, man, yeah, find me at Quan59 on all social media and at Unnamed Sports Show on only on Instagram. And then follow us, subscribe to the channel at Unnamed Sports Show Official on YouTube. We are here live every Monday and Wednesday. We are here live every Thursday and Monday, and we're never really here on Monday. I just have that booked, that time slot for Unnamed Sports Show.
Can I give you props?
So it pops up in my calendar
before we go
saying Unnamed Sports Show, Mondays at 4. Yeah, go ahead.
You deserve your flowers because not just the show you do here, you do a lot of other shows for the culture out here. And the culture don't move if you didn't create the business that you created. So flowers to you because there's a lot of shows that they probably be phone casters right now doing stuff in their basement or something. You created a platform for a lot of podcasts out here. And if they don't say thank you, I'll say thank you for the culture because some people don't know who's behind it. So
100%. Let me give you flowers too.
I want real flowers.
No, let me give you flowers too.
Bring some real flowers
doesn't
so I
matter
can give them to another girl.
Doesn't matter what anybody says. Quan can hoop. He can only dribble left and right like Jerry West, but he got a pure jump shot. And
Bob Cousy.
You know what I mean? It's a real low dribble, real fast leg movement, but he got a pure jump shot, basketball IQ. Don't let nobody tell you that Quan can't hoop. I was there. I seen it.
Yeah, Quan been part of the culture for years. If you ain't did your research, look up because they don't know Quan 5'9" like I know.
Facts.
First time I met Quan, I freestyled for him when I was working at Arby's.
Oh, Quan's that guy. He like, you rap? Show me.
That's exactly what he said too.
I know.
So flowers to you, my brother.
Appreciate it, bro. Definitely, man. Anytime. Man, my voice. Anytime.
That Terrence Howard did. He said, anytime, mate.
But yeah, anytime you're in town, man, come through.
I got you,
talk
Mike.
Sports with us.
No problem, Mike.
Yeah. All right, we are out like the Lakers. Peace.
Dang, dog. Too soon.
And get this exquisite lemonade. We didn't talk about that. We'll talk about it on Monday.